Our dear viewers, once again, you're welcome. We are still in Makerere University. After the dissemination of the digitalization of documents in the university and upgrading the archives, we are going straight into the place where they keep the documents, which we refer to as an archive. First of all, see exactly what they have done as far as phase 1 is concerned, and they also explain to us what they'll be doing in phase 2 and then the final phase. You are welcome. Before we go further, you talked about the piling of the certificates. I have heard several cases where different people dropped their pay slips for the documents and they are confused. They don't know where to start from. Such people, how can you advise them so that they can come?
For the current, those of 2000, I don't know whether it's 2007, when we started the transcript system, we have what they call financial statement. So those ones are in the system. Someone can come and they check for the financial statement. And if you paid, it shows. But for the old, if you lost the receipt, you have to pay again.
You have to pay again.
It's unfortunate because there is no evidence that you paid.
Okay. Because I know it's quite a number and they are just there because when they get a transcript, they feel they can get a job or whatever using that document. And most of the people, they have found that they don't have the documents to go and pick out the certificate. So I think your information is going to help so many people to quickly come and pick the documents.
But through my working time, I've had experiences. One, I've seen God's hand of provision, especially here in Senate. We always lack things, and it happens, I think, in government departments, especially like paper, but here God has provided. We've not lacked because we service Senate committees and other committees. We always get stationery, and so in that area we've never lacked. Two,
interesting.
I had challenges where I saw God coming in, showing himself strong. In 2008, when I was still certifying documents, I don't know how it came to the public, but a story was run in the New Vision that I certified a forged document. And so I was put to task to answer how I certified a forged document. And I told you then, we just use our eyes and then booklets. And so I took it like it was an error. Like the following week, I was in my office, the transcripts office, but my office was inside. So someone shabby, a man entered, like with torn shirts, torn trousers, and kept hair. And he was, the only thing he was saying, like, I know the people who forge transcripts. I know the people who forge transcripts. So my secretary and another lady who was receiving transcripts came and asked me, there's this man, should we allow him in? But he looks like he's not mentally okay. Then I said, let him come in. Then he said, Madam, I know who forges transcripts. I know who forges you know, it was like a song. I just couldn't stand it. I took him to my boss, immediate boss, Hajat Nakatude then. He still narrated that story. I know where they do it from, I know. Okay, they said, okay. The academic registrar then was Mr. Oraro Dole. They organized security personnel here. They went in civilian.
Plain clothes.
They went with him. They gave him money. He took it to NASA, I think. They gave him names of like patients. So I did BCom this year. Go and make for me a transcript. In a short while, the man came with a transcript. Then they went, the security personnel had gone with that man, and they caught the person who was forging transport. For the very first time, we went to court, and that man was jailed. And I went to court as a witness for the university.
Very interesting.
To explain to them that this one is forged, this is not this. So to me, it was God exonerating me.
For sure. Someone just showing up to volunteer information.
I mean, like, I don't know. I don't know, but I believe that God saw my name in the newspapers for a wrong reason and came out for me.
Wow, that's interesting.
Another challenge is the standing firm for integrity and what you believe in. I told you I used to certify documents, and of course you wouldn't certify without someone paying.
Yeah.
So one time I was in office and a certain professor came in. By then he was a director of an institute here. Came in with a daughter and brought the daughter's documents and said, "Madam, certify." I asked, "But where are the receipts for payment?" He said, "I've told you certify." I said, "But I told you I can't certify without payment." "Do you know who am I?" I said, "Yes, Prof, I know you. You are the director." "Do you know anytime you can be under me, under my supervision?" "Whom do you think you are?" The man quarreled. The man quarreled. I insisted. What? I said, "I've told you I cannot certify without seeing the receipt." So he left, but he had quarreled a lot.
I know.
And the daughter, because he had come with the daughter, after he had left, the daughter came back to ask for forgiveness.
Wow, that's humbling.
Yes, the daughter came in and asked for forgiveness, and they left. But later, anyway, they paid, and I certified their documents. Another time, the challenge I got was during graduation. In the examinations and transcript division, it's the division that is in charge of graduation and organizing the graduation booklet. So 1 year, I don't remember the year, but I was in charge of the graduation list. You'd compile and then... So there were 2 girls from MOBS. The lists, MOBS would send lists, and all these faculties would send lists, and then we compile. I don't know how those 2 names of the students, and they were very fast on the list. Their names disappeared as I was compiling the list. And so these girls, of course I also felt for them, but they took it to a higher level. They thought it was political and it was tribal, that I had deliberately removed their names. The girls were very annoyed. They were very abusive. They were annoyed to the level that I would imagine if they had a gun, they would shoot me. I told them, and I went to even the dean. I told them, "You people are going to graduate. Go and prepare. Go and get gowns. Go and get your parents ready." I made sure I had to write in each booklet, add their names and sign. I made sure on the graduation day, the dean from MOBS had the right book that had their names where I signed. It was such an experience.
It was serious.
Yes.
Big challenge.
Big challenge, but I could see that we have a problem. People just look at you for who you are. I mean, like they read the book by the cover.
Yeah, sure.
And there's already a mindset, and they judge you.
And even just the fact of you dealing with
and for
young
me,
people.
I serve people. I don't mind who they are, because I told you, God clearly told me, it's it's my calling.
You're on a mission here.
I'm on a mission.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you wish, if it was a trophy or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
but I've served people
Mm-hmm.
who have come back without them giving me a penny
Mm-hmm.
and brought me such
appreciation.
Yes, such
Wow.
writings,
Uh-huh.
personalized
Mm-hmm.
write-ups.
Wow.
That one was Irene.
Mm-hmm.
Irene, I don't know which Irene, but
Mm-hmm.
this was Achom.
Achom, I can see.
This was Paul.
Mm-hmm.
So they brought
Wow.
those writings, and to me, they were very satisfying and
I
gratifying.
know.
Yeah.
It's one thing giving a service, and it's another being appreciated.
Mm.
Wow, that's very interesting. You talked about different kind of areas, and we want to appreciate the kind of information you have given us. Tell me, how did you get this word of God telling you that you are supposed to be here? You know, this is a very important kind of aspect.
You had even earlier asked me. One, I love records,
Mm-hmm.
and I think because
so it was your passion.
This work I'm doing,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not. I've never studied record keeping,
Mm-hmm.
but I love record keeping.
Mm-hmm.
It's like in my DNA,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I get this from my parents.
Mm-hmm.
Both my mother and father, they
Mm-hmm.
used to write down their things,
Mm-hmm.
like a program for the next day.
Mm-hmm.
My mother was a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
My father was a builder.
Mm-hmm.
But they would always have their programs written
Mm-hmm.
down, and I took it on.
Mm-hmm.
My husband always complains, and he calls me Boromborombo. Boromborombo was like a
The
small...
nitty-gritty.
Yes, but I write down my things.
Mm-hmm.
And so, even when we're dating, we would write down our future dreams, and they are there. I have evidence.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And so, record keeping and keeping things is like in my blood. When I look at this thing, I feel good. Right? I feel good that such was preserved.
You give attention to the
yes,
detail.
and I like it to be kept.
Wow.
But in 2004, like I said, in 2004, my husband was doing his PhD in the US, and he was not with us. So that Christmas, he was not with us. I went to church, had Christmas, attended service, came home, had lunch with my children, and decided to take a nap. And I lied on my bed, and I heard God tell me, and what I'm telling you, I wrote it down. Everything that God told me.
Interesting.
There are many things that God told me. God told me one thing. You've been complaining about your work in Makerere, but this is your calling. You will bloom and blossom from Makerere. You've always wanted to start a fellowship, a Christian fellowship for the department. This is the time, start it. And actually in that was 2004, December. In 2005, I wrote the academic registrar asking for space. And we started the academic registrar's department fellowship in 2005.
Wow.
You've been limiting me with your salary, because I would look at my salary and say, I know I'm going to get this amount, so I can buy this, and that is it. So God told me that you've been limiting me, looking at me in terms of your salary, on what I can provide. Remove your eyes from the salary and look at me, because I'm your provider.
For provision. Wow.
I had wanted to start a business. God gave me an idea to start a business of putting up a laminating machine in our here in the Senate building, and we start laminating documents.
For students who are picking there.
Yes, and I started that business. It was flourishing until someone started cheating me and taking my paper. Yeah. And then I left that business and I started another business. And yeah, I think,
Wow.
yeah, those were some of the things I recall that God told me then.
Because the reason why I was so much interested in that, we have people who are Christians, they are born again, but some people can die without ever knowing their calling. So you find God had planned you for, made you, created you for something, and the whole of your life you are totally in a divergent
And
direction.
I had every reason to leave this place.
Options were available.
Yeah, options were there, and I could have gone, but I stuck in there. Yeah, when God told me it was my calling, I decided to be happy and serve God.
There's some level of satisfaction.
Yes.
You take off your eyes from the people you are serving and
Yes.
take it to God.
And even then, before, the salary wasn't good. It wasn't something to talk about. I've told you. I joined when I had my master's. And other people at that level were doing very well, working with NGOs, working with government, and it was like, hey, what happened to you? But when God revealed that to me, I stopped grumbling, and I enjoyed my work.
Wow, that's very interesting. So what are your aspirations? You are now in an academic institution where we see professors and doctors. What are you thinking in that kind of direction?
Originally, I told you I used to write things, what I want to be in future. I was looking at doing a PhD after my master's. But when I got married, after, actually I wedded when I was still a student. And I wedded. After 2 weeks, I went back and studied. Now, wedded in 1996. In 2001, one end there, my husband got a scholarship to do his PhD. He went for 5 years and then came back. I looked at my children and I thought doing a PhD would be highly selfish for my children. And when you do a PhD and you want to progress, you don't do a PhD and then you sit.
You have to advance.
You want to be a lecturer, you want to be a professor, and that means research, that means reading.
Papers, writing.
So I thought about my children and where would I leave them. And among my children, I have a child who has a development challenge. He has autism. I don't know whether you know about autism, but for instance, he doesn't talk. His understanding was bad until now. He's improving greatly, but his condition wasn't good. So I just decided not to think about a PhD. I used to teach part-time before I joined administration.
Oh, you were an academic staff before?
No, I was teaching on part-time. I was teaching 1998, 99, 2001. I think I stopped 2002 when my husband went to do his PhD because I had very young children.
That is Makerere University?
Yes, Makerere. I was teaching development studies and secretarial studies. That was 2 years before I joined, and then 2 years when I had joined because I was part-timing. but I decided to leave part-timing and concentrate in administration. So for me, I know that, and I don't look at joining another institution or joining another. I believe I will leave Makerere University going to be self-employed.
Because your calling is here.
I have my business. I process milk products. I do ghee. I do eshawe. I do amachunda. I do whey. And that is where I see myself. I want to leave the university employment
and
to
retire into that.
Yes. Because I've put all my energy here, all my thinking, and so I want to retire to self-employment.
Wow, that's interesting. To see someone.
But if God calls me to a higher level, I will welcome it.
Your ear is still wide open.
Yes.
To listen to the Lord.
Yes, to listen to the Lord. Yeah.
Wow, that's very interesting. You talked about what other challenges in terms of integrity have you faced in this place? Because we talked about the people, ladies disturbing and all the stuff. In Makerere,
there's when I think it was one time, or there is a big challenge. I think the biggest challenge is with everyone. People don't believe that you can do a service for free, even when it's your work. So they want to give you something, they want to, and you say, no, I'm doing my work. It's okay, you don't have to give me money. No, this is your lunch. No, it's okay. And for me, the way I do my work, if you want a service and it's down, I get out of my office and I go and look for what you want. So people feel like they should give you something. So many times I've said,
because
no.
this is a rare kind of service.
So I say, no, this is my work. I'm doing my work. Yes.
Wow. I think this distinctively makes a difference for someone who has come to serve and those who just come for a job. And to me, it is very, very important. To me, I feel you are God sent.
Amen.
And we are praying for you. Just know that there are many people out there who are praying for you so that you can fulfill your mandate. Doing God's calling is one of the most satisfying things in your life. When you're here working, what I want you to know is that there are people who have never known their calling, and it is the worst state any person can be in. Because as a Christian, that is the heart of everything. The courage to move on. The word of the Lord is a promise. So when you tell it, you say that, we feel there is fulfillment in this place. There is direction in this place. And when we pray, even the answers come immediate. Because you are in line. There is an alignment. When there is no alignment, that's where the problem comes in. So we believe Makerere University is so blessed to have a person like you. And we believe you are going to take this trend a step further in as far as digitalization is concerned. And we believe the young people out there who will be coming, when they get instant services, the word on their lips will be, gone are the days. We are now in the new era, and we want to thank God for that. So unless if you have something to add on, we want to thank you and our viewers out there. I've really enjoyed this show. And they have one or two things to learn, because corruption is killing this country. People are working in their offices, they are mandated to do the job, but they still get involved in, handouts and kickbacks and all the stuff. But to the Christians out there, be strong and focus, because when God calls you to do something, He will always provide. Thank you so much for your time. We appreciate. And we wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Amen. Our dear viewers, our program What's Trending, we're here at Academic Registrar's Office, specifically Deputy Academic Registrar's Office, and we have been talking about issues concerning the digitalization of the documents with Madam Patience Mushenjezi. I believe you have learned one or two things, and from here I sign out. I'm Kenneth Rukundo for Right TV. Keep watching. So dear viewers, as far as What is Trending is concerned, we believe that this work that has been done in this university of digitalizing the documents, it is what is actually trending, and we believe they are going to catch up to the international standards, whereby the documentation shall be retrieved at any time possible to minimize queues and also minimize time wastage. God bless you.